You know what I find interesting? I've been riding motorcycles for 8 years now, but I've actually never been in a cruiser motorcycle. And I don't think I'm alone in that, because out of all of my friends, they all ride naked bikes, sport bikes, adventure bikes, but none of them have even ever ridden a cruiser. And I want to know why. And seeing as I am apparently an old man now and I like motorcycles like the Honda Goldwing and the BMW K1600, I figured might as well give this a go. So yeah, today I have some road to the north of Amsterdam I've been meaning to ride for a long while. There are nice country roads on these things we call dijken in Dutch. So first I'm gonna go to my favorite lunch spot, get a nice focaccia or a pizza, maybe have some coffee, and then we're gonna check out that nice road. And I'm gonna take you along for what it's like to experience a cruiser for the first time. So first let me show you what I'm packing today, what this thing is, and then we'll get going. So yeah, what I've got with me today is the 2025 Indian Scout 1250 Classic. And classic model just means I think it has some more chrome and looks a bit more retro. So typical cruiser vibes. This thing has a pretty laid back riding position. The bars come all the way back. You have forward controls, which are going to be interesting, and I'll talk about that more during the ride. You have this really nice and short seat, and I do think it looks really nice in the scenery like this, like the whole Dutch typical landscape with farmland, and we have some beautiful blue skies today. So yeah, now enough talk, let's hop on, get some lunch, and then explore some nice roads.
I have to be honest, that this thing is like surprisingly easy and conventional to ride. I thought with the forward controls and the pretty bulky weight of 250 kilos I believe it is, I expected to be a little bit more intimidated. But thankfully I just got on this thing. The clutch is actually really pleasant, really light to use. And just hop on, pull away, no worries at all. Of course, it being a cruiser style, the seat height is quite low, so that also helps with approachability. Second thing I noticed is where you're just poodling around, it's actually fairly quiet. I know, I expected a little bit more of a thump when you're just cruising around in town or putting along these country lanes. But then the most surprising part, I have to say I've noticed up until this far, is just how sporty this bike is. When you get on it, oh my, is this thing quick, and oh my, does it sound aggressive. It feels brutal and raw, in a way I absolutely did not expect. Like, I expected it to be characterful, yes, but not in this way. I was expecting a more lopey, lazy engine, and this engine is really energetic, and it really invites you to dick around, pretty much. It invites you to be a bit of a hooligan, and sometimes when you rev match, it does these like big backfires. Oh, there it is. Ground clearance is also fine. Honestly, I don't need more ground clearance than this when riding a cruiser. Goes around roundabouts fine and everything. I do have to say I'm already not the biggest fan of the forward control riding position. I find it puts a lot of, or pretty much all of your weight on your backside and on your spine. And there's no real way to brace for potholes and speed bumps and stuff like that. And it's actually surprisingly easy to ride around town. The weight is perfectly manageable, like it's no problem. You got a decent turning radius. No way from the MT-09 really. And this is kind of the point I want to talk about, right? Is there's always like this big divide between cruiser riders and other motorcycle riders. Why is it like you're either a cruiser guy or a normal motorcyclist? Whoop. Now we're just gonna crack on the highway a little bit. I'm gonna put on some music and then get some lunch because I'm hungry. I do just want to give a quick shout out to Indian for adding cruise control to this bike, as we are riding on an average speed camera road right now. Just pop it on the cruise control, pop it on 80 kilometers an hour, no sweat. So absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Indian. Right, lunch secured. Let's find some nice roads. Now I have to admit, this riding position isn't working for me on the highway either. The whole body just basically acts like one big wind sail. So yeah, although the cruise control is nice, I wouldn't want to spend a lot of seat time on the highway on this thing. Well, would you look at this? So this is one of the dijken I told you about. As you can see, we have water running along the right over here. Ooh, look at that. Perfect little picnic bench to consume our Italian baked goods on. Not a bad view, right? It was supposed to be a bit rainy and cloudy today, but thankfully for some reason it's just sunny and 22 degrees, which is really nice. Only slight downside is it hasn't seriously rained in a couple of weeks, so the soil and stuff here is really dry now, which is not the greatest. But yeah, we gotta enjoy the good weather, right?
Alright, let me show you what I got. Okay, so focaccia, margherita pizza, and I dropped this earlier, Italian Coke Zero. I know I mentioned earlier that cruises aren't necessarily my thing, and I still don't think they are. Like when I ride this, it doesn't feel like me. But I have to admit, when you see it parked up there, in beneath the Dutch countryside, looking all clean and shiny and well, pretty badass actually. Although it doesn't mean I can definitely see the appeal, you know, it does look really cool. And it does make me want to take some nice pictures over here. So I'm gonna finish this drink and eat this food, and then I might go do that. And then we're gonna hop on and then explore this really nice road over here actually. So yeah.
So yeah, welcome to the road I was looking for. This is called the Oostdijk, which translates directly to East Dijk. And for those of you who don't know, Holland, or the Netherlands as it's called, is located below the sea level. And the issue with that is of course that a lot of the land we have now was below water. It's always been an issue for us Dutchies, has been managing the water levels in our country, and one of the ways we protect ourselves from the sea and rising tides is dikes like these. About 70 years ago, in 1953, the biggest natural disaster of the 20th century was actually a flood, which was caused by rising tides and a storm. They managed to break through some of the dikes, and actually 1,800 people lost their lives because of that disaster. And ever since then, the government has done a lot of work making sure these dikes are up to spec and capable of withstanding extreme weather and the likes. But the nice thing about that for us motorcyclists is that they make these wonderful twisty roads for us to enjoy. And they're often in really beautiful scenery like this, between the farmland, next to some water. And these are a fan favorite amongst motorcyclists in Holland. When I was eating lunch, like 10 other bikers passed by, and there are actually some dikes or some roads on dikes in Holland which have been closed down for motorcyclists because they're making too much noise and pissing off the locals. So yeah, we're gonna behave a little bit, enjoy the cruisery nature of this cruiser, and enjoy the scenery, all that good stuff.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna end the video now because the weather is catching up with us. It definitely looks like it's gonna start to rain. But to answer the question in the beginning of the video, am I a cruiser person now? Well, not exactly. I mean, I still don't think it's really quite me. But I have really enjoyed this Indian today. I mean, you have good power, you have good torque. The chassis is actually quite decent. So that still leaves me with the question where I don't know why there's such a divide between normal motorcyclists, inverted commas, and cruiser people, because it's just enjoyable, you know, and it's never a bad thing to have another kind of bike as an option. I mean, you can have adventure bikes, you can have naked bikes, but you know, why not try a cruiser? It's honestly a lot of fun. So yeah, with that, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.